everyone, I'm your host Heather Dawson and welcome to the May episode of Healthy RC Living. Well, April showers bring May flowers and our very own Marco Gutierrez celebrated Earth Day here in the city. Let's find out how he enjoyed all the festivities.
The 8th annual Earth Day celebration took place in the Bank of America courtyard at Victoria Gardens, and many departments and partners in the community came together to encourage families to get outdoors and learn about the environmental services in the community.
We started in 2009, and since then it really has grown. We do have a lot more exhibitors here, a lot more city departments participating. We get a lot of donations for the event. Tech has now sponsored our annual Shred It truck. So people come in and they get all their documents shredded. We have the household hazardous waste here. They're actually educating our community about the importance of recycling their batteries, bringing in their used motor oil, paints, and any other household cleaners that you don't want to just dispose of in the trash.
Other partners in the community came out to create awareness of environmental choices that can be made at home. Lowe's was giving out free samples of water-wise plants, and Home Depot set up a workshop for children and their parents.
And we have Wild Wonders here today. They're putting on an animal show for our children, and it just really teaches them the importance of being friendly to the environment.
Healthy RC and Rancho Cucamonga Library Services put on the Earth Day celebration, with fun for the whole family in mind.
So our Earth Day event is a great opportunity for the city to partner with other organizations in the city and really let the community know what we have available here, show them our resources and educate them on how to be earth friendly.
Reporting for Healthy RC, I'm Marco Gutierrez.
Well, if you haven't had a chance to check out the new renovated Red Hill Park, you need to go see why going green can be a beautiful thing. Here's David Wiley.
You can call it a revival of a familiar landmark. What was once known as Red Hill Lake at the Red Hill Park here in Rancho Cucamonga has now been renamed and reopened as the Red Hill Water Feature.
What a beautiful lake, but now we're going to refer to it as a water feature because it has a purpose.
It stood for years as a picturesque backdrop that many had used for their keepsake photos. But the combination of funding challenges for its upkeep caused the lake to be drained and closed in 2014, only to now be brought back to life, much to the delight of local officials.
We have rededicated this water feature, and it's hard for me not to call it a lake because that's what I've always referred to it as. But if you look behind me, this water feature now is here to serve a purpose.
The unique new aspect to the water feature will be the use of recycled water that will be part of the park's normal irrigation system. But the revival of the water feature will also prime the pump for local businesses. As you can be sure, local photographers and videographers will once again flock to Red Hill in order to capture the special moments for local residents celebrating their special occasions.
It's wonderful watching the evolution of this park go from being vital and then on hiatus for just a short time to get repaired, and then to come back full force and beautiful again as if it never left. It really is beautiful to see the effects of this park.
Under some Chamber of Commerce weather, the Red Hill Water Feature saw a nice turnout of residents who were quite pleased to see this old familiar face return to the community with a new look and a new purpose. And you can be sure that the reopening of this water feature will create a new and special buzz about an old familiar landmark and possibly spark more life into our local economy.
And now let's head to the annual Arbor Day celebration at Windrose Park with Marco Gutierrez.
This is the 27th year of the Rancho Cucamonga annual Arbor Day celebration, and the city hosts a school and community portion event. This year, the Windrow Elementary School 3rd graders did a class educational program to learn about what Arbor Day is all about. The 3rd grade classes came out to plant trees in Windrow Park.
One of the things we do is trying to educate the community on the value of the urban forest and what it does for the community itself. And this is one of our successful ways of really trying to educate and also educate the generations to come. Because what we do today isn't really something we're going to really reap the benefits of it. It's the generations afterwards that do. And our goal in this process is to educate that and then to bring forth that information. Some of the ways we're trying to do it is really try to bring out information on the value of trees. Just not the fact that they're a plant out there, they have a health value, they have a monetary value, and they just have that aesthetic value, along with, in this case here, it's somewhat of a personal value. As these kids plant these trees, they get that personal gratification that they now know where their tree's planted. They can visit it, they can talk to the next generation about it.
Trees make oxygen for the air, and they give you shade when you're really hot, because we want to take care of our city.
The Rancho Cucamonga arborists invested their time to come teach the children how to properly plant and care for trees so they may take pride in the trees in their urban forest.
2 weeks ago, we went into the classroom, about an hour classroom, and then 2 weeks later we come out and plant trees with them, and we have several workers out here with them and 6 to 8 kids out here, and they shovel and they fill in the hole, and it gives them really just a lot of pride to go with planting trees.
Today, 9 trees were planted in an effort to replenish Rancho Cucamonga's urban forest that has lost many trees to the recent drought.
We have a lot of parks trees, street trees, private trees, and all those combined we call the urban forest. And it's actually recognized as a forest. Today we had the California Forestry Department here, CAL FIRE, and they are a big sponsor of us in helping us with grants and giving us money for trees and money to sustain our urban forest. Our guys that are actually public works that actually trim the trees and remove the trees every day, they took it upon themselves to make this podium out of 100% recycled lumber from the urban forest. So just to show that it's a good resource to use for a number of different things, including lumber.
The city of Rancho Cucamonga holds Arbor Day as a way to involve the community in tree planting and to promote the importance of trees. City personnel, residents, and dignitaries go away with a greater appreciation of trees and their important contribution to the environment. Reporting for Healthy RC, I'm Marco Gutierrez.
Cultural diversity and leadership expertise filled the room at the annual Randall Lewis Health Policy Fellowship Dinner. This program was created to enhance the skills and knowledge of health professionals who seek to initiate positive change in their communities.
The Randall Lewis Health Policy Fellowship is about changing the future. It's about creating models and organizations and structures for really health reform. If it's not necessarily going to be about some of the policies in the Affordable Care Act, but it's really about how can, as communities, we begin to create opportunities and structures for people to be engaged in health improvement, because 75% of our costs of the healthcare are really affiliated with chronic disease. And so how can we create communities, opportunities for people to take ownership of their health, and how can we create healthier communities and healthier environments for children to be raised and have all of us have equal opportunities for health and education.
Members of the program include prestigious students enrolled in local universities who were individually selected among competing graduates. One student developed a project specifically related to Healthy RC's upstream approach on improving the health of those who live, work, and play in Rancho Cucamonga.
So what I did is I conducted a number of key informant interviews with different department heads and also leaders within the departments within the city, or throughout the city, I should say. And I developed this inventory, which is on a Microsoft Word, Excel, I should say, spreadsheet, and it's pretty extensive. There's a lot of policies, and From those key informant interviews, I identified that there are currently about 36 policies within the city, active policies within the city that are being implemented that all have the city's health in mind. And since this is being used for Healthy RC's evaluation plan, we also identified that about 12 of those policies, of those 36 health policies, were actually influenced by Healthy RC itself.
To get involved or gather more information, visit the fellowship's website at p4bhealth.org. Applications for the next fellowship program are now being accepted.
Anyone in a graduate program definitely should partake in this type of fellowship, especially Randall Lewis Health Policy Fellowship. It's really been a good experience working in local government. It gives you a different outlook on how to impact communities' health and different ways that you can impact communities' health. Healthy RC has established policies and programs within the community. Both are very impactful in improving health outcomes. And so I definitely recommend for anyone in any background, whether you're in health policy or in health promotion, education, epidemiology, I definitely think working in local government and getting that experience with health policy is a good one, yeah.
We've done this over 5 years now, and this year we reached our 98th fellow, so next year we'll be celebrating our 100th. This has been a fantastic experience for me just to be part of the program, and I'm thrilled to be able to help these students as they embark on their careers.
Thanks for watching this episode of Healthy RC Living. I'm Madison Perry, and we'll see you next time.
The Robert Wood Johnson Foundation is recognizing the city of Rancho Cucamonga for its efforts in creating a culture of health here in our community. Here's Marco Gutierrez.
Welcome to the city of Rancho Cucamonga, a large, diverse suburban community in western San Bernardino County in Southern California. Our journey to building a culture of health has been a long, rewarding, and community-driven process. And the journey has just begun. In Rancho Cucamonga, health is a top priority. We believe the health of everyone matters, regardless of where you live, where you play, or how much money you make. And that building a culture of health means making our community the healthiest now and for future generations. To say Rancho Cucamonga experienced a dramatic transformation was an understatement. Incorporated in 1977, our population has exploded over 350%. What used to be a vast, fertile agricultural mecca filled with endless vineyards and succulent orange groves rapidly transformed to urban sprawl, with a proliferation of fast food outlets, single-family houses, and a car-dependent infrastructure. And as we grew, so too did the health disparities and inequities. All of this urbanization and rapid expansion finally caught up to us and became major culprits in our county's health standings as the nation's fourth most obese. We began organizing ourselves, bringing our businesses, our local schools and churches, our hospitals and nonprofits, and our local government agencies together to build a new, successful, and sustainable model for community health improvement. This model was unique as it was truly community-driven, bringing together the meaningful, authentic participation of all of our residents and community members to make good health accessible to everyone. And it's working.
It's really just special for us to be able to talk to real people and just come together and say, hey, I think health is an important issue, it's something we should work on, and now we can figure out how to utilize the city's resources to make that possible.
Me gusta hablar directamente con la ciudad, para que así es una forma en que yo les puedo ayudar haciéndoles saber de algunos pequeños problemas como las banquetas y algunas cosas, ¿verdad?
Now Katrina can actually leave our apartments, go down the sidewalk, use the curb cut to access the crosswalk with the crossing guard, and she goes across the street and can roll herself all the way to school, and she never has to hit any places dangerous.
Building a culture of health takes more than just education and awareness. It takes a whole community to transform neighborhoods, affecting the shape, feel, safety, and health of everyone who lives, works, and plays here. And while we have made great strides, there is still a long road ahead of us. We are committed as a community to continue our journey in building and sustaining a culture of health and to make our city the healthiest in the nation.
It's a career that has a certain level of physical demands and stress, but that's where a healthy lifestyle really kicks into gear for the firefighters of Rancho Cucamonga. Sticking to a consistent lifestyle of healthy eating and exercise is not just a mandatory policy for these crews, but a common sense approach to life that anyone would benefit from.
It's a necessity. It's almost like a job description of something that is required. We actually are required per policy to work out an hour a day to maintain our physical fitness. So it's a good thing to have. Why, once again, it's important we stay physically fit as long as we can and eat well to make sure when we're retired and when we're done we can continue on and enjoy the rest of our days.
Aside from being prepared for the physical demands of the job, these firefighters see their exercise routine as an effective way to handle everyday stress.
Maintaining a healthy lifestyle, maintaining my physical fitness helps me deal with stress on a regular basis. It also helps me kind of power down and relax a little bit more because I feel healthier. I feel like I'm able to exert myself and then kind of know how to rehab.
And the daily dietary regimen for these firefighters also becomes an essential part of being ready to take on most anything they have to encounter.
Stay away from fast foods, fried foods, stuff like that. It tends to wear you down a little bit. As far as I've noticed, typically on summer days I like to do light foods, salads, watermelon, things like that. That kind of, it's like we're at home, in some sense. We kind of plan our meal out for the day, and it's a hot day today, so we'll kind of eat light, eat healthy.
While maintaining a healthy lifestyle is a true necessity for these firefighters, they would highly recommend that anyone do what it takes to keep up a healthy body and mind.
I'd say just keep in good shape. I mean, go to the gym, eat right, work out, and of course, have fun, enjoy yourself, have a good outlook on things. That has a lot to do with what we do too. Besides that, the mental aspect of it, and we see a lot of different things, and you got to have fun and keep yourself healthy that way too. It all works together.
For Healthy RC, this is J.R. Epon.
The numbers are stunning. 1 in 5 children in the Inland Empire lives in poverty. 31% of children only have one parent in their home. And only 21% of children in San Bernardino County are considered physically fit. On top of that, thousands of families are having trouble making ends meet, and providing even basic necessities proves to be a tremendous challenge. Fortunately, the Inland Empire United Way is dedicated to improving the lives and futures of those children and families in need right here in our community.
There are literally thousands of families and adults who are struggling to make ends meet and to care for their loved ones right now. And at the same time, with the cuts to public programs, we know that the needs are just increasing. And that really means that it increases the needs for nonprofits like United Way to step up and to take care of those children and families in need.
The Inland Empire United Way does just that by investing resources into programs that help those in need and fill in the gaps where public assistance or government programs fall short. With that in mind, the Inland Empire United Way is devoted to helping the local community, with 88 cents of every dollar donated going directly to programs that provide assistance locally.
Every local dollar stays here and is invested into local programs. Everything that we do is really focused on 3 major areas of education, health, and financial stability. And the way that we do that is twofold. One is that we invest in a group of strong local nonprofit organizations, and then we also directly operate a number of collaborative programs here as well.
That local effort goes to programs that make a major life-changing impact on people right here in our community.
I had my home foreclosed on and I wasn't able to get a job right away, so I found myself homeless. I was living in an abandoned house for a short period of time, and we lived in our car. And when we could get money, we stayed in a motel, and it really wasn't a nice environment for children. They couldn't play. I would just like to say thank you to United Way. Not only did they give me a hand up and give me my self-esteem back, they provided me with the tools and instruments I need to be a successful employee and mother today. I feel so happy, and I can't put a dollar amount on all the things that they provided me with, and I'm so happy and grateful, and and I'd like to see some funding to give other families this opportunity that me and my sons have and get people out of that situation of homelessness and hopelessness.
Another way the Inland Empire United Way directly impacts our local community is through the Kids Pack program, which is designed for low-income students who depend on school lunch programs. Kids Pack provides these children with backpacks filled with nutritious food that they can take home and eat over the weekend. Volunteers come together in the Inland Empire United Way warehouse to fill the food bags, which are then put in colorful backpacks and delivered to the needy students.
Everything was gonna be good. Like, give me a bag and it has like food in it. It's special because I want them to protect me.
Just the moral support and the emotional support that you give to the students, that you give to the teachers. It's huge knowing that we have an organization that we can go to with a need, and within 2 days the need is met.
And students aren't the only ones being helped. With school budget cuts, supplies are in shorthand, and many parents don't have the means to help. So teachers can take advantage of School's Tools program, which is like a free store filled with classroom supplies.
The teachers come in, we have 38 schools, and each one of their teachers is allowed to come in twice a year. They come in, they take a shopping cart from over here, and then they basically go around and they get all the items that they need. They usually walk away with an entire shopping cart full of brand new supplies and about $500 to $1,000 worth of supplies to take back for their kids.
For many organizations and programs, finding volunteers can be one of the toughest challenges, but Inland Empire United Way helps with its hands-on program that helps connect volunteers with organizations, churches, schools, or whoever needs volunteers to make a difference. They also support a mentoring program called Mentor Connection. The Inland Empire United Way is truly dedicated to supporting those that need help and providing opportunities for those who want to help. That's where 211 comes in. Similar to 911, 211 is a toll-free phone number manned by operators 24 hours a day who have information about all the programs and services available. The 211 call center at the Inland Empire United Way averages some 5,000 calls a month.
And oftentimes, the callers might not even know what they're calling for, honestly. They might just call and say, here's my situation, and then that's our job to figure out what resources are available for that individual.
Among the other programs that the Inland Empire United Way supports is CASA, which is short for Court-Appointed Special Advocate. It's a program where specially trained volunteers are teamed with kids who are in the foster care system who may be facing a variety of personal and legal problems and have no one to turn to. For Stephanie, it was CASA advocate Dominica who was there for her when she was dealing with a teen pregnancy, the stresses of a foster home, and other issues.
Anytime I had problems or was just so frustrated to the point where I couldn't take anything anymore, I could call her and just talk to her and get all my stress and feelings out.
I'm there when she needs somebody to talk to, and a lot of kids in the foster system don't have that. They don't have an adult who cares about them.
And providing that individual guidance for troubled kids is what CASA is all about, and that mission is greatly aided by the Inland Empire United Way.
They run a hands-on website that helps volunteers become aware of our programs. They go out and do sort of the big legwork on asking people to contribute to their campaign, and those monies get funneled back to programs like ours that are really, focused on the direct service in the community.
There are so many ways the Inland Empire United Way helps our communities. Over 100,000 people benefited last year from the programs and resources provided by the Inland Empire United Way. But that wouldn't be possible without generous donations made by local residents, companies, and corporations.
I would really just want to thank the many people who contribute to United Way on an ongoing basis, as well as those who are about to contribute to United Way, because it truly is the contributions of those many, whether it's donations of financial contributions, contributions of time as well, all of those contributions combined that allows us to impact so many lives on an annual basis.
To learn more about the Inland Empire United Way, go to their website at ieuw.org or call them at 909-980-2857. And to learn more about resources that may be available to you, simply dial 211. In Rancho Cucamonga, I'm David Wiley for Healthy RC Living.
So welcome to our Rancho Cucamonga Animal Care and Adoption Center Kitten Nursery. This is an off-site facility to care for underage kittens. This is our first year out with our kitten nursery, and this is a pilot program, and it's funded through fundraising efforts at the Animal Center, so we rely heavily on volunteers that donate not only their time but supplies and money and anything that we can use to help support our kittens. Kitten season is typically through May through the end of October, so when they come into our facility and they're not old enough for adoption, we have to bring them over to the kitten nursery to be cared for until they can be adopted into new homes.
So the neonatal area is the first area in the nursery where underage kittens will come in. The age they have to be in to come into this area is anywhere from 1 day old to up to 2 weeks. And they're placed in a bin with a heating source, and they're bottle fed every 3 to 4 hours as needed for care.
So one of the greatest benefits of the neonatal nursery is that it is staffed 24 hours a day, which really allows us to provide medical care for our most critical and vulnerable population of animals around the clock. So these kittens can come in very tiny and often need IV fluids or tube feedings and medications if they break with mild colds or upper respiratory. So it allows us to provide the monitoring and medical care 24 hours a day to make sure that they're hitting their growth landmarks and on target for their weight and nutrition.
Once they hit 2 pounds and 2 months, they're transported back to the animal center where they go a thorough evaluation by myself or the other veterinarian, and they're placed on the surgery schedule. They are spayed and neutered, microchipped, and then placed up for adoption. So the nursery really relies on volunteers to help us provide care 24 hours. And one thing that we are lacking in still is volunteers who have a particular expertise in raising neonatal kittens or who have expertise in a veterinary setting, either a veterinary technician or have had shelter experience in particular would be very helpful. So we're in desperate need of those volunteers as well.
We've been fortunate to be able to partner with some of the local veterinary schools and veterinary technology programs to allow their students to come and gain valuable experience that will help them in their careers and see a population of animals that they usually don't see in private practice as often when they're young and going through the phases of growth. Often they come in once they've already been adopted by the future owner. So this is a good opportunity for vets and registered veterinary technicians to really get extra experience in the neonatal care of underage kittens.
Our operations are 24 hours a day, so we do have it staffed 24 hours, but we rely on volunteers to also help us 24 hours a day. We deal with kittens of all ages from 1 day old to 8 weeks old or up to 8 weeks, and so they require around-the-clock care. You can find out more information at our website, which is rcpets.info.
People are welcome to stop by and visit the kitten nursery during specific hours. This can be extremely valuable for mental health during the day, stress relief, and taking breaks to enjoy animals.
And that'll do it for the May episode of Healthy RC Living. Don't worry if you missed any part of our show. It does air right here on Channel 3, or you can go online, healthyrc.com. I'm your host, Heather Dawson. We'll see you next time. Hi, I'm Heather Dawson. Our show, Healthy RC Living, highlights just a few of the wonderful activities that enhance the mind, body, and earth. We take you to events around the city that'll enrich your mind. Live performances, library computer classes, and story hours are just a few of the ways the city helps people of any age learn and expand their abilities and imaginations. We also show you all the ways our city can help keep your body healthy. There's no better city for outdoor exercise, and we'll make sure you know all the fitness opportunities available in Rancho Cucamonga with our on-location reports. You'll also see how our city is doing its part to protect the earth now and for our future generations. Join us as we explore all of the ways Rancho Cucamonga is making it easy to enjoy healthy living.